Nick asked me if he could caddy. I said, yeah, I don't have one. I need him. That'd be great. And he knew the course, and he didn't quite know the club selection until after I hit the second hole. I hit an 8-iron from 205. He goes, okay, I get it. You're 4 clubs stronger than Nick. Sorry, Nick, but I hit an 8-iron 205, and he figured it out from there. And it was just, we just hit it like that. It was awesome.
He's the best ever. Those words rarely left John Daly's mouth about anyone. The Wild Thing, golf's most unpredictable star and perhaps its last true outlaw, spent his career defying tradition with a diet of chocolate, Diet Coke, and cigarettes. He was cited for behavior unbecoming a professional. But despite his reputation for tearing down the establishment, 6 golfers earned something from Daly that almost nobody got: his respect. And the names might surprise you. Think about what it takes to impress John Daly. This man won 2 majors on raw talent alone. The longest hitter on tour in the 1990s when 300-yard drives were novelties. He openly admitted he wasted his talent in the 90s. He didn't work hard enough or prepare properly to win tournaments. Daly wished he had the mental attitude back in the 90s like he does now. So when Daly respects someone, he's acknowledging something deeper: mental fortitude, competitive execution under pressure, full utilization of talent. Let's start with Jack Nicklaus, the ultimate embodiment of golf tradition. You might think Daly and Nicklaus would be opposites. The Golden Bear represented establishment values, while Daly challenged conservative culture. But Daly's respect for Nicklaus runs deep. It started before their paths crossed. Daly learned the fundamental grip from the Jack Nicklaus Lesson Tee, a cartoon series released around 1969 or 1970. The most traditional golfer in history accidentally became the architect of the Outlaws game. That early influence created lifelong recognition of Nicklaus as the technical and historical authority. And the respect went both ways. When Nicklaus first saw Daly's unprecedented swing, he was blown away. Good gracious, what a coil, what an unleashing of power, Nicklaus said. I don't know who he reminds me of. I haven't seen anybody who hit the ball that far. Coming from the greatest player in golf history, that validation meant everything to the young outlaw. Then came 1995. Daly won the Open Championship at St. Andrews, and his name was inscribed on the claret jug alongside Bobby Jones, Sam Snead, and Jack Nicklaus. For Daly, that moment solidified Nicklaus as the benchmark for enduring greatness. Winning 2 majors was the definitive achievement. By placing himself alongside the Golden Bear on that trophy, Daly validated his career through Nicklaus's towering legacy. Now let's talk about Tiger Woods. Daly's perspective on Tiger isn't simple awe. It's a reflection of what could have been. There's a famous story that perfectly captures their relationship. Daly invited Woods for a beer. Tiger was dressed in workout attire and declined because he needed to lift weights. Daly told him, "Man, you don't need to work out. You need to drink a little bit with us." Tiger's response cut through: "If I had your talent, I'd be doing the same thing you're doing." Daly thought Tiger was crazy, but the truth hit hard. Woods was fully committed to maximizing his already incredible talent through intense work ethic and unwavering discipline. Daly relied solely on raw talent to compensate for lack of preparation. That moment crystallized everything about their different paths. Woods chose the gym over the beer. He chose discipline over comfort, and that choice translated into the most dominant career modern golf had seen. When Daly talks about sustained excellence, he immediately references Woods as the historical precedent. Tiger had that kind of run for a long time, Daly says. Woods became the yardstick for dominance. Daly respects Woods because Woods bridged the gap between raw ability and realized potential. He proved talent alone is insufficient. Woods did everything Daly wished he had done. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this deep dive into golf history, make sure to subscribe and drop a comment telling us which golfer on this list surprised you most. Next is Greg Norman, the Great White Shark. Norman earns Daly's respect not just as a dominant player, but as a powerful figure reshaping professional golf. Here's where it gets interesting. Daly openly revealed that he begged Greg Norman for a spot on LIV Golf. Begged! This shows how much authority Norman commands. Daly was frustrated with the Champions Tour, saying he wasn't getting a lot out of it. Meanwhile, LIV was a big party where players competed for serious money. Norman seemed to squash the idea, telling Daly he was too old. But Daly kept pushing, offering to handle entertainment. That persistence reveals profound respect. Norman created a financially disruptive alternative to traditional golf. He leveraged his legendary status to become CEO and commissioner of a rival tour. Norman monetized golf outside the traditional framework, transforming a legacy into a billion-dollar venture. But the respect goes deeper than business. When Daly discusses periods of elite performance, he positions Norman alongside Woods as the definitive modern benchmark. If you look back, Norman had a run like that too, Daly noted. Norman was renowned for his bold, aggressive style, one of the best long drivers of his era, intimidating opponents with his length and straightness. This shared archetype of the powerful golfer forms a natural bridge between them. Now we arrive at one of the most dramatic moments in Open history. history, Costantino Rocca. Daly's admiration stems entirely from one high-stakes moment at the 1995 Open. On the 72nd hole, Rocca needed a birdie to force a playoff. His pitch found the Valley of Sin, leaving him about 65 feet from the hole. Daly had signed for a 71, believing the tournament was his. Then Rocca drained the 65-footer. The roar was massive. The playoff was on. I thought it was mine. I actually thought it was mine. That's gotta be one of the ultimate putts ever made in golf. I couldn't believe it went in. Next thing you know, we're in a playoff. That acknowledgement of ultimate execution validates Rocca's brilliance in that solitary moment. But while Daly was mentally composed and ready for the playoff, Rocca wasn't. He didn't stop shaking until the second playoff hole, Daly observed. Daly won the 4 holes by 5 shots and claimed the claret jug. This reveals something crucial about Daly's mental game. Daly, who often admitted his career was plagued by poor mental attitude, demonstrated superior nerve when it mattered most. The enduring memory is the drama and audacity of Rocca's effort, which forced him to earn the trophy through sustained competitive nerve rather than a simple victory. Next is Laura Davies. Daly's respect for Davies is acknowledgement of her professional power and competitive parity. His admiration transcends gender considerations and focuses purely on merit. Daly and Davies won the final edition of the J.C. Penney Classic in 1999, a mixed team tournament. They rallied from 5 shots behind with a strong Sunday performance and defeated Paul Azinger and Sayri Pak on the 3rd extra hole of a playoff. But the real evidence of respect centers on power. Davies was one of the hardest hitters in women's golf. In a 1996 Australian skins tournament featuring Daly, Davies, 5-time Open champion Tom Watson, and Peter Senior, Davies proved her power parity. While Senior was in awe of Daly's 300-plus yard drives, Davies held her own against the male trio and regularly outdrove Watson and Senior. Watson himself noted that Davies made a couple of crucial putts to stop John early on. Daly's reputation rests almost entirely on his aggressive style and long driving. His high regard for Davies derives from her matching him in this crucial area. She was a technical and power equal, capable of competing effectively from championship tees against established male professionals. The fact that Daly respects Davies purely on merit demonstrates his criteria for admiration are based strictly on performance and shared prowess. Finally, we arrive at the present day, Scottie Scheffler. Daly grants contemporary respect to Scheffler, analyzing his dominance through a technical lens. Daly acknowledges Scheffler's current run of excellence, comparing it to the sustained dominance of Woods and Norman. But his admiration for Scheffler focuses on technical execution and relentless consistency rather than raw power. Daly observes that in modern golf, long driving is no longer a differentiating factor. All the guys hit it kind of the same off the tee, he notes. So what makes Scheffler exceptional? His iron play is great, and his putting is just phenomenal. Scheffler represents everything the 1990s John Daly was not. While Daly admitted to wasting his talent through lack of preparation and mental lapses, Scheffler is defined by unflappable discipline and clinical execution. This reveals a critical truth. Daly accepts that golf has changed since his era. By respecting Scheffler, he's acknowledging the formula for winning has evolved. The new standard is defined by technical refinement and consistent scoring ability. Scheffler's dominance is built on precision and mental resolve rather than brute force. He earns respect by defining the successful contemporary model. So what does this list of 6 golfers tell us about John Daly? It reveals something most people miss about the Wild Thing. Despite his outlaw reputation, despite the cigarettes and Diet Coke and chaos, Daly fundamentally understands what it takes to achieve greatness in professional golf. The players he respects either taught him the game, matched his power, forced him to demonstrate competitive nerve, or perfected the mental execution he struggled to sustain. The irony is beautiful. The man who seemed to reject everything golf stood for actually holds its greatest champions in the highest esteem, not because of their conformity, but because of their excellence. Nicklaus gave him the foundation. Woods showed him what maximized potential looks like. Norman proved you could be powerful and entrepreneurial. Rocca delivered one of the ultimate clutch moments. Davies matched his power on pure merit, and Scheffler defines what modern dominance requires. John Daly's respect operates as a meritocracy that judges results, execution, and mental strength above all else. These 6 golfers represent the road he could have taken, the potential he admits he wasted, and the greatness he never stopped appreciating. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more untold stories from golf history. Thanks for watching.